Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the Patreon poll of the week, and it's Spiritbox again with Angel Eyes, because they released an EP.
You guys know we love Spiritbox on this channel.
Having said that, the last one was really good.
Yes, that is very true.
Well, so we cannot completely write them off.
True.
The last one was good. I have high hopes for this one, right? We've been accused of being haters. We've been accused of being hipsters. We've been accused of not having the right IQ in order to understand Spiritbox and what they're about. They released a brand new EP, and I think they did almost a video for every single song of the EP. So I threw this one up on Patreon, and surprise, surprise, it won. And here we are to check it out. So Angel Eye, Spiritbox. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Innocence is the game that I have lost. I purify myself in the black of who felt the sky. I look behind myself in the back of an angel's eyes.
All right. So,
Okay.
all right. So
That was good. That was good. That was good.
That was good.
That was good. These guys are going in a good direction, I can see. I forgive you. I forgive you for being very mediocre in the past. And
dude, I don't think I can manage all the hate content that's going to come our way after a comment like that.
I totally forgive you. You guys are really picking up the shoes.
I'm picking up what you're dropping off. Isn't
it? Man. I was ready to hang up the gloves when it comes to this band, but or hang up the boots, retire.
The cleats.
Anything. But I'll give you guys
You're back in the game?
I'll give you guys a 5th chance. 5 times is the charm.
I think this is already like this eighth video from. We've done a lot of it. For a bunch of guys who are not fans of this band, we've actually covered this band quite a bit.
Okay,
so,
I'll say 7 because the last video was good too. So 7 times the charm.
Even before that, there was maybe 1 or 2 videos that we checked out that
they weren't okay, but they weren't like.
But they weren't bangers.
They weren't memorable.
No,
because I don't even fucking remember them now. I only remember.
That's the definition of not being memorable.
Exactly. The last one was pretty good, but this one is actually better in my opinion than the last one.
Ooh, I don't know about that. It's
one.
equally good.
They're pretty similar.
This one is good, maybe a little bit more consistently heavy.
Yeah.
It has more of a hardcore feel to it.
Yes.
It reminds me of Dying Wish.
Yeah.
A band that vocally has that screaming.
If she started pulling out the hand gestures and all that, I would have been okay.
Oh, that would have been totally hardcore. That would have been,
yeah, but I would have been okay with it.
With a sweater 4 times her size.
Yeah, the cap on, the fucking you gotta have the jorts, like the ripped up jorts.
The sweater has to be from your own band.
Yeah, and the All Stars. Yeah.
Well, that's all the stereotypes. Like we're throwing all of it.
You have to have like cuts and shit because you were like skateboarding. You have to have cuts and shit on your knees and shit. Like.
All right.
Yeah, man. You have to have all the stereotypes and then pull out the fucking...
The wax on, wax off?
The wax on, wax off, rap hands. And I would have been fine with it.
Me too. But this song, I think, when you compare it to the previous one, it's... or at least the previous one that we've done on the channel. This one is maybe a little bit more hardcore, has a little bit more of a hardcore influence in the sound. But not just in the sound. Like I said, in her vocals. If you guys go listen to Dying Wish's vocals are pretty much like this. It's almost like a screeching style approach. They're not very deep and heavy. They're a little bit more like hardcore, post-hardcore style approach. And this song has that same style because she doesn't change her vocal dynamic. It's not like the chorus comes in and she comes in with some clean vocals or she goes deeper or whatever. The vocals that you get at the beginning is what you're going to get all the way through. And I felt like this style, this approach also matched the sound really well because it gave the whole song this hardcore feel to it. The only time it went off of that beaten path was when that more electronic sound came in with a like that electronic beat came in. That was the only time where like, okay, I don't remember listening to this in a hardcore song, but that was the only time that kind of like went slightly off the beaten path. But because it wasn't too long or it didn't really overstay its welcome. It melted really well into the song, and it allowed the track to have a few just slow down moments so that you don't have this just pure aggression always in front of you, which could become a little bit too much at times because it doesn't give the listener enough ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? So overall, I really like the song. I think it's heavier. I think it's more direct, not as dynamic, but more of a hardcore feel. At least that's my interpretation of the track coming in, both musically and vocally.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Vocally and musically very hardcore like, but just so heavy and had a good rhythm to it. Everything just felt really good about this song. And surprised, man. It surprised me because I was expecting the last one to be kind of like a one-off type deal, but no, they're being...
I like the fact that they didn't throw in...
It's not heavy just for the sake of being heavy, too. Like
No. And I don't like it just because it's heavy. I like it because it has a nice sense of purpose.
It has a sense of purpose, which I feel like their other songs don't.
Some songs don't.
A lot of, like, that's why I said mediocre, because they just feel there. They just feel like 1,000 songs before, and even 1,000 of their own songs before, they didn't feel inspiring. It feels genuine, and it feels, it feels right.
Feels raw. You know what I mean? So I like it because, like I said, the sense of purpose in this song is not because it's heavy, it's a sense of purpose. And another element that I really like about this track is it doesn't fall prey to stereotypical elements that you would get in songs like this. Like a heavy breakdown or switching the vocals here and there to into some like mid-clean vocal, something along those lines, or into a very like technical guitar piece. Like, I like the fact that the track didn't fall prey to some of the stereotypes that perhaps other bands, if they were doing a song like that, they would throw those elements in because that's kind of like what you expect from from a track like this, like an overly played chorus, because this song doesn't have that either. It doesn't have that chorus where you hear the same sentence like ad nauseum, like repeating constantly, so that it becomes tattooed in your brain. So I like the fact that the song has purpose and it doesn't have those prototypical pieces and elements that, in my opinion, would dilute the rawness of the track, the feel of the track, the impact of the track. I like it. It's not your ABC style song when it comes to this sound and this approach. It still feels fresh, it feels different, it feels new, but consistent in terms of the heaviness that it puts forward.
Yeah.
So I like it. And not just, like I said, not because people are like, you guys just like this shit because it's heavy or whatever. Dude, not every
But even if you say that's
heavy.
not the reason, they're gonna say that's the reason. But even though I enjoyed like the very like electronic parts at the start and at the end, I like that shit.
Oh, there was one in the middle there
And
too.
the one in the middle, yeah. I like that shit. I mean, the song just feels well put together.
That's a perfect example of something you wouldn't see a hardcore band, for example, or a band that's doing a song like this.
They wouldn't put that shit.
They wouldn't put that shit. Imagine like Hatebreed throwing like an electronic
Harm's Way.
Or Harm's Way throwing. I mean, Harm's Way, they do some industrial shit, so I could see more Harm's Way doing
Less
it.
Hatebreed.
Less Hatebreed, but bands like that. So I like that feel there, because it feels very Spiritbox.
Yeah.
To throw in that more electronic sound in there, to me that felt very Spiritbox of them to do that, so that you don't have this just very linear song from start. Because I think they're a band that also doesn't like to feel bored. They like to just go with the flow, if you will. So this song, I don't know. For me, it's definitely worth writing home about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Some people in the comment section said that we were hipsters, that we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I don't claim to know the band's discography from point A to point B or from A to Z. But I'm basing my opinions
on what I've
heard, and even in previous shit that I've heard. I've seen this band live twice. You know what I mean?
And well, I've seen them once, and I wasn't impressed.
You weren't impressed. I wasn't impressed.
You weren't impressed either.
So, but what I'm saying is, it's like, even though I'm not a huge, we don't claim to be fans, but even though I don't know their discography from A to Z, we've seen them live. I've seen them multiple times. We've checked them out on the channel multiple times. The question I have for you guys is this: if you heard a band that you didn't like, insert whatever name, how many chances would you give that band and listen to them multiple times,
so I'm guessing
and
it's
actually
not more
going
than twice.
and actually going to the shows?
I'm guessing it's not more than twice.
Yeah. So before you criticize us, look at yourself in the mirror.
If you didn't like a band, you wouldn't go see them live.
Exactly. And you wouldn't listen probably to that band. You wouldn't give them as many chances as we have given.
Exactly.
So, and I'm saying this because people are like, dudes, some of their earlier material, really early material, was really heavy. So this shit, while not necessarily matching with their last album, it matches more with their earlier material. Okay, fair. I don't know like I said, I don't know their discography from A to Z. So I'm going to take that at face value, and I'm going to say fair, good point. But that early material, while perhaps being what brought fan base into the fold, that's not the material that made them popular.
Exactly.
I'm just keeping it real. When they were releasing that material, they were not touring with Mastodon. They were not opening for Ghost. What made them popular was the mid material.
Yeah.
What came after that material,
the real mid material,
and before this material. That's what made them famous. I'm not saying that they didn't have heavier shit before. What I'm saying that heavier shit didn't really make them who they are today in terms of popularity. I'm not saying that it didn't get them a fan base. Obviously, it got them a fan base.
It didn't get them where they are now.
Exactly. So that was, when I was being critical in the last video, that's where I was coming from. I'm not saying that they've never released heavy shit before, but that's not what got them to where they are. Same argument could be made about so many different bands. Ghost has never released heavy material. Never. But one would argue that their earlier material was perhaps the heaviest and the most darker and the most sinister.
Which is true.
True. But that's also not the material that got them the popularity that they have now.
No, not even the Square Hammer and all this. That stuff didn't really get them It's everything after that. I think Ghost's popularity started to rise with the third Papa, But I think when the Cardinal came in and all those songs after, that's when they really hit the peak.
And they haven't released anything slightly heavy since.
No.
So what I'm saying to you is, just because a band did something in the past, it doesn't mean necessarily that that's their DNA or that's who they currently...
Yeah.
And bands will change throughout time, unless you're AC/DC, where everything you've always done has always been the same fucking shit, which is fine. I'm not downplaying that. But I'm just trying to explain my point of view.
Yeah.
And my point of view was coming from the fact of what made them popular was a sound that I don't like. And I think, and that's why I call them hipsters, because I feel like most of the people, maybe once again, maybe I'm offside here, but to me it kind of appeal a little bit to the hipster crowd. Just my take, okay. But listen, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. You got yours, I got mine. So fucking live with it.
Exactly.
But I think my point stands. That it was not the heavy shit that they did early on that got them the popularity that they have now.
No.
So,
and people are stupid if they think that. Honestly.
It's actually an interesting question. Had they continued down that road,
they wouldn't be as popular as they are now.
Would they be as popular as they are now?
They would not be as popular as they are now.
I would argue. I would argue in your
favor.
favor.
On the road.
I would argue in your favor.
There would be another pebble in the road, and then if we came across them, we'd probably like them. But it would be because they were doing stuff that they like doing. It's raw stuff. The reason why we would like this, right? They went into the more mainstream stuff, which I have no hate for mainstream music.
Like, do you?
Do you, man?
But then don't
get mad at me.
Don't eat your cake and you want to have it too.
Yeah. It's just that's the stuff I'm not into, but it's what got them popular.
Listen, I'm not into Sleep Token. I don't.
But that band's popular as fuck.
I don't like the band at all. You know what I mean? I have no issues with people who love the band and like the band. But do not insult my intelligence by calling that band a metal band. Because they're not. They're not. They're not a metal band.
They make...
okay, what do you define as a metal band? A band that has a drummer, a guitar player, and a bass player, and a singer? Well, then, fuck.
A lot of metal bands.
Then everything is metal. But no. Jazz has all of those same elements. They're not metal.
Indie rock has that element.
They're not metal.
It's not metal.
You know what I'm trying to say here? What's his name? Garth Brooks has all of those elements, and he's definitely not metal. Neither is Shania Twain. So just be like, what is it? Like, love something because you love it, but then don't try to justify your love by trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Just don't do that. Just love it. Just embrace it. Love it. Mm-hmm. Like it. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, like, if you love Spiritbox softer shit, cool, fine, man, cool. If you like Sleep Token, more power to you, cool. They're popular as shit. I'm the lead singer. Yeah. So anyways, all good. But don't insult other people's intelligence by calling those bands like heavy or metal or whatever. Like, they're not. They are what they are.
They are what they are, exactly.
Don't try to fit them into something that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable for listening to them.
Yeah, and don't insult my intelligence about music. We've been doing this shit for quite a while now. And
Listen,
we've listened to so much music on scene. I think when it comes to this band, our view may not be everyone's cup of tea, but at the same time you have to respect it. We've seen them live, right?
It's a view. It's an opinion.
It's an opinion, but if it's a backed up opinion. It's not like, I just don't like them.
No, it's a backed up opinion on
our
own taste, of what we like, of what we
we've
want.
Accumulated over the years.
It's not hating for the sake of hating.
It's not hating for the sake of hating. And then also we're
busting balls.
Exactly, but also we have like a pretty good like portfolio on the band already, like channel wise. We've done a lot of their videos on the channel.
I just find it funny.
You've seen them twice. I've seen them once.
I just find it funny when people say you haven't heard all of their material. How can you? Okay,
I'm not going to. But my point was like,
if you don't like a band, how the fuck are you going to listen to all of their material so that you can fundament your opinion?
That's torture.
But who does that?
No one. No one does that.
Like, you don't like Manowar. So before I say that I don't like Manowar, I have to listen to every single song that they've ever released, and only after that I can formulate my opinion about how much I like them or dislike them.
And then you're wrong because you didn't listen to the Japanese exclusive songs.
That's not how life works. That's not how life works.
I think people just don't I think that's the best way to combat it is we've listened to a plethora of songs now on the channel, even off the channel, seen them live. You've seen them live twice. I've seen them live once, right? So I've gotten a pretty good fix of this band. Right? Like a pretty good
in terms of what you like and what you don't like.
Yes, but a pretty good dosage of this band.
I reviewed their last album. Not the CP, but the previous.
I'm saying like that's That's more than what others would be willing to do for a band they didn't like.
Yeah. I reviewed also one of Sleep Token's albums.
See?
Because I like to give
everyone a chance. But the thing is, that's also, you know, you're getting the album and reviewing it and whatever. You're giving everyone
and that
a chance.
doesn't mean, like, I didn't get this EP for review, by the way, from Spiritbox. The reason I didn't review... Listen, I get enough albums to review on a regular basis. I'm not going to go out of my way to review a band that I'm not a fan of.
Exactly.
And then on top of it, I didn't get the album for review from their label and from their PR. Maybe because they know I'm not a fan
Exactly.
of. But anyways, just putting it out there, I didn't review it. Having said that, if their next full-length record hits my inbox... based on these songs, I'll review it and I'll give it a fair shake.
Exactly.
Because just because I didn't like one record doesn't mean I'm not gonna like the other record.
Exactly.
You know, how many times have I liked one album and then I go to listen to the follow-up album and I'm like, oh my god, that's pure garbage compared to the...
Or you listen to their newest album and you were like, oh fuck, they have a plethora of shit that they did in the past, and you go listen to that, and then it's all like, fuck, they only made one good album and it's the new one. Like, you have to... sometimes it happens.
What's that band that we saw live with Ginger that we didn't like?
I don't remember.
Oh, fuck. They released an album last year, the electronic sound and shit.
Oh, Browning.
The Browning.
The Browning. I hate all their shit other than the last album.
We saw them live. Didn't like anything that they played live. Didn't like anything that I ever heard or came across of going into that concert. The last album, I reviewed it. I love it.
It's called End of Existence, whatever the fuck it's called. Every song on that album is so fucking good. Every song on that album. You won't hear me listening to any of their older shit. Anything that has come out since that album, I'll listen to. Anything before, because the thing is, I actually ended up going and listening to some of their older stuff, and it doesn't even match. It doesn't even match up.
It doesn't compute.
It doesn't even compare to the newest album. Or I'm guessing it's their newest album because it's been.
Yeah, it came out last year.
Oh, it came out last year?
I think it was last year around December. Or 2 years ago. Okay, maybe 2 years ago.
I think 2 years ago. It feels
but
like
there hasn't been anything since.
Okay. Well, that's a perfect example. But then again, I think people need to realize that if you didn't like a band and you listened to 2 songs, you definitely clock out by then. You would not have gone and seen them in concert or listened to even more songs. So you're trying to like project that mindset onto us, even though you wouldn't do it you guys wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
So it's stupidity.
I agree. I don't think it's and the other thing is
it's not fair.
And the other thing is, this is our soapbox, right? Like, we get to sit here and comment and talk about music and whatever, talk shit. A lot of it is for the lulz. We do it for the lulz. We have fun. We don't mean any disrespect to Spiritbox or anybody in the band. Yeah. We're just shooting the shit. And at the end of the day, we're promoting them by checking out their music anyways.
Exactly.
Because there's going to be people who are going to disagree with us and going to buy their record based on watching this video. So whatever. So it's a win-win situation.
If you buy a record based on this video, you're agreeing with us because this is
good shit.
This is some good shit. Yeah.
All right. So on that note, I just figured that this needed to be addressed.
Yeah. Because I think it's hypocrisy in it's people. It's the leeches of the band that are very hypocritical because they wouldn't do the same thing. It's. And then even then, I'm going to get people in the comment section disagreeing with what I just said.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which, it's stupid. Because I can give you a band right now that I know you're not going to like. I want you to listen to at least 2 albums, and then I want you to go see them live.
Change my mind.
Change my mind, yeah.
All right. On that note, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with more videos.
See ya.